If you have an irregular cycle, can you still track your period? Are there ways to track it? Let's say if you have a period that maybe comes every 45 days or every 32 days, and you can't use that 28-day cycle that a lot of these apps are on. Simple answer is yes, and I'm going to tell you exactly how you can track your cycle just by using the way that your body reacts to different hormones and the way that your body is when you're ovulating. Now, some people are watching this and you probably don't ovulate, or you're probably having some other issues like PCOS or fibroids. If that's you, then maybe this doesn't apply, but this is always how I tracked my fertility when my cycle was not 28 days. So on each part of your cycle, your cervix feels different. Your microbiome is different down there, your pH levels, everything is completely different. If you want to start very easily, I would just suggest getting an ovulation test. This is a really good ovulation test. It's not that expensive. You don't need to use them forever, but it's just so that you can try to track it on your own, and you don't have to use the app because, like we said, it's not going to be accurate. You don't have a 28-day cycle. Another way you can track your ovulation is this way. Okay, so this is my pathological uterus with like all types of endometriosis and fibroids and everything. Like, don't look at those. But anyways, when you stick your finger inside, you should be able to feel your cervix. Now, when you're ovulating, your cervix is very, very soft and it's very, very high. That's the only way that I tracked my period when I was in long-term relationships and not using really any forms of birth control, and avoided getting pregnant basically until I had my daughter. So you're going to feel your cervix and know that it's going to be very soft and very high. And then you can just tell the difference like right before your period if you feel PMS going on, and then you touch your cervix and you're going to feel that it's very low and it's very hard. So just by doing things like feeling your cervix, your cervical mucus, for example, you can start to see when you're ovulating and just the different times of the month. Now, this is not going to be the same for everyone. I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying what I use and what was 100% accurate for me. Like I said, completely avoided getting pregnant until I was 23 years old and I had my daughter, but I always knew when I was ovulating just by checking my cervical mucus and also the position of my cervix. This is also really interesting. When I found out I was pregnant, I knew because my cervix remained high. So I remember when I got pregnant, it was like July 27th of 2014. I'll never forget the day because it was like, what the hell? Why didn't you? Anyways, so I remember my cervix was super high, and then I kept feeling it every single day, and like I had a lot of like my boobs were hurting and I couldn't even take a shower because my body and my joints just felt so weird, and my cervix never went down to the low position. So if your body is working pretty normally or just off by a few days, you should be able to use this method.